On Thursday in Switzerland, the Geneva Auto Show opens to the public, but the biggest attraction might not be the vehicles. Apple just unveiled CarPlay. It is billed as a smarter, safer way for drivers to use iPhones. Dan Ackerman is the senior editor with our partners at CNET. Good morning.
Good morning.
So how is this Apple CarPlay different?
Well, what it does is it's kind of a hardware and software ecosystem. You know, Apple likes to keep everything very tightly tied together. So you take your iPhone 5 or 5S or 5C, you connect it through Bluetooth or Lightning to your car, and then you get access to all these very familiar Apple services like Siri, like iTunes.
And when will I be able to get this?
You know, the first cars with this, including some from Volvo and Mercedes-Benz, are going to come out later in this year. And then next year, you're going to see almost all the major car manufacturers.
So are that 2015 models, 2015 rather?
That should be, yeah. Things will be on the road this year from a few manufacturers, and then next year a lot more.
It sounds very cool though, Dan, but how concerned should we be about distracted driving? Because all the research shows that hands-free really doesn't really cut down on the number of accidents. This to me seems like a huge, potentially huge distraction.
Yeah, I think they're getting more and more things in front of drivers as they're driving. You can definitely get more distracted. At the same time, Apple says it should be a little bit easier because Siri is so smart, allegedly, and it can kind of listen to what you're saying and give you what you want immediately without you having to kind of fool around with a lot of screens and tapping a lot of buttons.
You have any concerns about it?
I always have concerns, especially when I see people driving around getting very distracted, even using hands-free devices and trying to dictate to their phones or have their emails read to them.
You know, last week there were reports that Ford may drop Microsoft and replace it with BlackBerry in its cars. Do you think that's going to happen, and why BlackBerry?
You know, that hasn't been officially announced, but there's enough chatter about it that it seems very serious that's going to happen. Microsoft has done some of the back-end software for Ford and their sync system. BlackBerry, you usually hear about them in kind of a negative way. They're losing market share with the phones. Yeah. They've actually got an operating system called QNX that's in a lot of things. You just don't hear about it. It's kind of behind the scenes.
So the coming thing is a rivalry in a battle for the car space.
I mean, that's exactly it. All these big companies have fought over your desk at work and your pocket with your phone and your home entertainment system. Now they're fighting over your cars, and it's Apple, and it's Google, and it's Microsoft, and it's BlackBerry.
Who do you think's going to win?
You know, once Apple gets involved, all of a sudden everybody's paying attention to this. Yeah. I think it's a good sign. How often do we sit around and talk about...
Even though more Androids than Apple operating systems are out there.
That is true, and Google is working on their own version of this, their own auto initiative, and that's going to start showing up in vehicles also later in 2014. They don't have the details on that just yet.
What was the buzz, the fact that Ellen at the Oscars used something other than an Apple? She used that phone to take that.
That's the new Samsung Galaxy S5, so that's like the latest phone that just got announced at some other trade show in Spain just like last week. So that was a great little product placement right there to whip it out and like take a picture with it.
Is it great?
You know, all these phones, I think, improve incrementally year over year. I think we talked about the S4 last year. This seems a little bit better. I'm not sure I would throw my S4 out and go buy this new one right away.
I don't know. That picture looked pretty good.
It did look good.
I saw everybody in it.
That's who
yes, it was very clear, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks.
Good to see you.